Made just a small little radio purchase right here. This is a AM FM broadcast receiver that I bought from Goodwill out of Falls Creek, Pennsylvania. And I just now started to get the box open, so I'll get this thing out and see if it works. Hopefully it survives shipping. Let's see here, and I think I paid $12 for it, so hopefully it's a good buy. These little Thomas radios, I've been known to collect quite a few of them. Probably have somewhere around 35 or 40 of these things now. So, and they're all different styles and look different, but on the inside they're pretty much the same radio. They're fairly inexpensive. It's kind of an easy way to get into radio collecting, or at least your typical broadcast AM FM receivers. And these radios usually tend to look older, something like from the 1930s and 40s, that kind of stuff. Even though they were manufactured all through the 1980s and 1990s, these were very much a kind of a novelty radio that looks really old, even though it's all transistorized. And it's got, let me get this thing out the rest of the way and see how it looks, and ultimately see if it works. Have to hand it to Goodwill. They pack these things pretty good usually. Yeah, they had tape on every layer of this stuff, so they really did a good job here of packing this thing up. Looks like it survived shipping. This is the second one of these that I now own. I bought one of these off of eBay, or it may have been Goodwill, but either way, I bought one of these before, and my other one got damaged in shipping. I was able to piece it back together again, so I guess one may have survived. After many layers, seem to have a radio. And the power cord's right on the front here, which kind of worries me a little bit. Anyway, hopefully it's no damage, I don't guess. So. These are relatively inexpensive. A lot of these Thomas radios got the name Thomas on it right here. And this is the type of thing you would have seen on QVC or Home Shopping Network back in the late 1980s and early mid 1990s. People were buying these things off of there. And some retailers had them too. Some big box stores, I guess, carried these too. But like I said, I think I paid $12 for this thing, so plus shipping. But I went for it because it looks so good. I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see a little something right here maybe, but a little bit of dust in here. But otherwise, it's in the speakers on the front here. It's a deal where the top of this thing opens up. Little latching system, this rod right here, kind of push it a certain way so it locks it, and it holds the top up. And the radio controls are all on the top and kind of hidden away in here. Close it back up, more of just to kind of lift this up a little bit and come forward, kind of pull this rod forward towards me, and it'll come on down. All right, let's get this stuff out of the way and do my favorite part, get this turned on and see what happens. We'll turn it on for the first time and hope there's no smoke coming out. I had to cut the video for a second. So I turned it on and actually had absolutely nothing. But it looks good. Now, what it actually is, the on-off volume here is a little bit squirrely. And after bouncing this a time or two, all of a sudden the mechanical switch that comes together, or when you turn it on, it's probably got some oxidation on it. and it wouldn't turn the radio on. So I guess I've kind of knocked some of that off by turning it off and back on again. And now it's, at least I have a light that came on here now. The dial lit up, and I'm also having trouble with the tuning. The tuner knob here. Turn the knob, and the dial turns some of the time. Two common issues that can happen with a Thomas. Otherwise, they work. I mean, the radio itself generally works just fine. Power supply and the AM/FM circuits all work fine generally. It's usually going to be, if you're going to have trouble, it's going to be with the on/off and or volume. Have a scratchy volume, that kind of thing. And there's a video on YouTube that kind of shows you about this. You know, all these Thomas radios tend to have this system where the tuning knob pokes down in there, and there's like a little rubber donut, if you will, that's around this knob, and then that rubber piece rubs against the actual tuning gear, and if you will, the tuning drum, if you will, and then tunes it. So that rubber piece kind of falls apart or gets dried out, it thins out, and it makes intermittent contact with that drum. So now I have a knob that kind of rotates without the tuning actually turning. So anyway, these are common issues that can happen with these. I don't always come across this. Usually these radios always work. When I get one, everything works perfectly. But I've had two. This may be the third one now where I've had this type of issues. It is doing something now, at least. I'll try to get some volume here and see if it's on the FM here. But at least you get to see some of the problems that can happen with these. And it's from the 1980s, so that rubber piece is no doubt dried out, or chunks of it have fallen off, and it's not tuning quite right now. But let's see. Turn the volume up here, and a little scratchiness there. See that? Oh, now it's too loud. And it's not destroyed like my other one got destroyed in shipping. This escutcheon here, this metal piece kind of popped out, and it rolled all around inside here and scratched the inside up. And the radio itself, the AM/FM, well, the actual board itself, sits in there like way high up here, and it's kind of bolted to the top of this cheap fake wood. And it must have took a hit in shipping where it fell down, downward force, and that board sort of snapped off and fell down. It was kind of floating around inside the case here. And yeah, it's kind of working.
Talk Radio 96.5 and 850 WTAS, your all-day companion for news and talk.
Boeing 737 landed after crews reported a shaky engine. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky accused Putin of using delaying tactics.
President Trump says he's not backing down over the tariffs he's imposed on major trading partners, including Canada, Mexico, and the European Union.
The news, when you need it. Talk Radio 96.5 and 850 WTAS. Talk Radio 96.5 and 850 WTAR. Powered by Admiral Lawn Management. Fertilizer, ALM.com. CBS News on the hour.
Really, what's inside this whole box is mostly empty. There's a speaker here, and like I said, the main board just sits right here up high. The rest of it's just an empty box on the inside, really. So anyway, I'll get in there and pull all the stuff out. No doubt in another video here in maybe a late summer or something like that, we'll look at it again. At least it's unboxed and that it made it here. And it is working. Like I said, the radio's working fine. I'm sure it's just going to be a couple little touches there. It should be all right. Anyway, until the next one.